think like it just would have been special. It's kind of like the way I feel about Terminator 2. Like I love the theatrical version so much, and that's one of my favorite movies of all time. And then when I saw the special edition, I'm like, oh my god, I liked it even more now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this scene does for me. Like, is it needed? Maybe not necessarily, but would it add? Absolutely. Oh, buddy, the code, it's been deciphered at Ratatata, because I'm Batman. All right, guys, looks like we got our official Joker scene released. This is a deleted scene from the movie The Batman, featuring Barry Keoghan. Matt Reeves has talked extensively about this particular scene. It's like 5 minutes long. I'm excited to see it. If you guys can leave a like, that'd be very much appreciated. Check out all the Batman coverage you've had over the past month. Let's get into action, people.
Present. Almost our anniversary, isn't it?
Almost our anniversary.
There's a serial killer. I want to respect it. First anniversary games, paper. What makes you think I come so cheap? I thought you'd be curious.
Why so curious?
You think I could offer this stuff? Don't you? You have pictures.
Makeup, goddamn.
He'd chew his fingernails off.
Oh, it's sinister.
Love the way they're shooting this.
It's violence. It's so baroque. Oh, he likes little puzzles, doesn't he? So meticulous. Like he's been planning this his whole life. I know who he is. Oh.
We got framing.
Who is he? He's a nobody. Wants to be somebody. The mayor, the commissioner. Yeah. He's got ambition. You think his motive is political? Oh, no. This is very, very personal.
Oh my god, so Silence of the Lambs, I love it.
He feels these people have all wronged him. Probably goes way back. Unhealed wounds, stolen lunch money. Why is he writing to me? Maybe he's a fan of yours?
Good call.
Or maybe he's got a grudge against you, too. Maybe you're the main course. Any theories? Not yet. Really? You're normally so ahead of the curve. But something is different this time. This is very upsetting to you. Let's get back to him. Why? You're so much more fun. I'm not here to talk about me. What are you here to talk about? I want to know how he thinks. You know exactly how he thinks. Have you read this file?
Back and forth, solid, man.
You two have so much in common. Masked Avengers. So he's even more righteous. Oh, you afraid he makes you look soft? wasting my time. Okay. I'll tell you what I really think. I think you don't really care about his motives, whether he loves or hates you. I think somewhere deep down, you're just terrified. Because you're not sure he's wrong, huh? You think they deserved it.
Oh, that's disgusting.
They deserved it.
Fucking love that scene.
What a brilliantly shot scene.
That's one of the best deleted scenes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't mean that in any hyperbolic way. That is legit one of the best deleted scenes I've ever seen.
That's like his own little short film right there.
It's like a Batman fan film that some YouTuber was like, Barry Keoghan should have gotten his own movie or something, so I'm going to make a fan film out of it. And it feels that way. I'm trying to think what scene this would have come after, if that makes sense. Like, what is the placement of the scene after and before? I think this really would have complemented the film quite well, especially for when he actually does encounter Riddler and discovers that a lot of what Joker was alluding to was actually correct. I love all the Silence of the Lambs types of vibes that this was omitting throughout. I do think though that this scene in like an extended cut would definitely complement the film and really work, because a lot of times you watch these deleted scenes, you're like, they're not really necessary. However, I think it would actually elevate the Riddler scene in a lot of ways. I get for runtime how you could have axed it, not gonna lie, like I could see why it wasn't necessary to be in the movie, but I do love the world building it does. I do love that line about like the anniversary, establishing where it's at. I love the way it's shot, where he's always obscured, only captured in these like minimalistic reflections and the close-ups that are so disgustingly morbid, intimate. But John, what'd you think of like Barry Keoghan's performance?
Oh, I loved it, man. And it's funny because in the dialogue, there's so many little things that you could take as nods to previous iconic Joker lines. And yeah, like now, post Heath Ledger especially, I think there's that kind of albatross of like, are they just gonna go for that or are they gonna do their own thing? And I really, really liked what he did here, and I liked the sort of coy quality that he played it with, this sort of almost flirting with Batman. You know, they said he's a proto version. He's not the Joker that we know just yet. And I get that sense while also feeling, you know, obviously when that smile comes up, that grin, and just certain of the jabs that he's giving to him, like you get that quintessential, you know, yin to the yang. And yeah, Barry Keoghan, I mean, I really like the sort of slow draw. Like I want to go back and re-listen to the scene because there are certain lines that almost get sort of fuzzed out in the just tone and the eerie intimacy that is happening. It's so funny because like this barrier of the glass is such a presence in and of itself, and it's always, you know, obscuring, like you said, his face, or it's always, you know, out of focus or something like that. They make you imagine what the front half of his head looks like by showing you the back of it, showing you his hands and his fingernails and like all the mutilation that this guy has gone through. And yeah, I really like that sort of seething. It's like a calm chaos almost. Eerie because you can imagine what a maniacal, more fully powered Joker would be like. And at this moment though, I really love that rapport between him. Is like, yeah, you know, you clearly put me here. I know you and I have a fixation on you, but yeah, I'll take a look at your little file, whatever. I feel like, yeah, this is a scene that would have certainly complemented the movie and maybe just, you know, would have needed like a third piece or something to make it fully rounded. I mean, I love just the way that he's kind of predicting the whole thing, and maybe that was a factor too. Maybe they're like, well, he's just gonna be right by the end, so maybe we don't want to foreshadow that all directly too soon, but I got such a huge kick out of their back and forth. And I mean, you know, Pattinson, it's just like, oh, this is the most consistent performance, because I felt like I was just back in the theater watching the movie again.
True. I think thematically though, it complements it exceptionally well. By the time you get to the end of the Batman, and then, you know, one of Riddler's goons is saying, I'm vengeance, and Batman's realizing like this is a product of him. Like Batman has helped inspire this, and the way how Riddler saw a reflection of himself within Batman. Joker has a line in there where he's telling Batman that part of you thinks maybe he was right. And that little extra oomph probably would have helped elevate the movie a little bit more more, even though I think the movie's like pretty great. I'm like, oh, that would have just given me that extra little nudge that I didn't think I wanted or needed, but I think like it just would have been special. It's kind of like the way I feel about Terminator 2. Like I love the theatrical version so much, and that's one of my favorite movies of all time. And then when I saw the special edition, I'm like, oh my god, I liked it even more now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this scene does for me. Like, is it needed? Maybe not necessarily, but would it add? Absolutely.
Well, in this one, it's funny because of the gripe people have had about the ending scene with the Joker. This doesn't feel at all tacked on. Like it absolutely feels like a scene that would have flowed probably pretty.
Would have made it better, yeah.
Yeah, and to me it feels like it probably happened pretty early on. Maybe after that first investigation of the mayor's of the DA's apartment with the police and all that stuff.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people felt the same way in how that Joker scene in the theatrical felt tacked on, whereas here it would have actually made it feel more natural. Like the setup that you're building to when they do cross paths would have been like an oh shit, like you already know it's the Joker right when he starts talking, as opposed to the movie and the theatrical version making it feel like we're about to reveal to you it's the Joker. But if the Joker's already established in the movie and then you see that he's familiar with his work, actually seeing the crime scene photos, getting acquainted and like really understanding who Riddler is, it adds more tension to it in the sense of Joker. Then when he is befriending him at the end of the Batman movie, he's like, oh, I can manipulate this guy because I know who he is already.
Yeah, it completes it.
Yeah, so then it makes for a good setup for part 2. Even though Matt Reeves has said he doesn't know if the Joker's going to be the main villain in the Batman 2, I think it would be a better setup for it. And yeah, I like the eeriness to this. But guys, what did you think about it? I thought Barry Keoghan did a great job. I still want to see like more, but from what we got, it does feel like it inspired from other things. It's like I've seen so many different Joker interpretations, as many of you have. It feels like a bit of a combination of what Heath Ledger did combined with I don't remember which one came first, either Jerome or Jeremiah, but whatever the second one, the latter one is in Gotham, that my god, that
Cameron
beautiful
Monaghan.
actor Cameron Monaghan played in Gotham. It feels like a combination of those two to me, but also with the messed up makeup, especially feeling like actually both of the versions that freaking Cameron Monaghan played. All right, guys, leave your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for being here. Subscribe, click that bell, hit that like button, and hey, let's do a Daniel Gallagher. Daniel, my friend, look, we've made so many jokes about you working as a pharmacist, and I do want to say that if you want to get a promotion, you gotta work at an insane asylum, man. Look at all the amounts of prescription you would be dishing out left and right to all kinds of crazy people. And knowing the kind of crazy people that are here in the world of Arkham, oh man, you become influenced. You need some medication. That medication would stop working, and then you would eventually need actual help yourself. You'd be an inmate, and oh my god, the amount of friends you would make. I know you're a big Batman fan, but come on, man. Life can get a little dull if you're doing the same thing over and over again. It's time to get a little nuts. So get a little nuts with some of the people that you're helping.